Hi, fans of high quality entertainment. So I've been doing tier lists for albums from the 60s and 70s and 80s, and just to show you the the years I've done so far: 1966, 1967, 1968, 1969, 1970, 1971, 1972, 1973, 1974, 1975, 1976, 1977, 1978, and I'm about to do 1979. That'll be the final one from the 70s. And then I've also done 1980, 1981, and 1982. So I might do 1965, see if there's some albums that I know besides the Beatles. And then I'll do 83, 84, 85 possibly, and we'll see from there. So one thing I've noticed about 1979 is there were about 10 less albums for the year than 1978. And as always, there might be some albums that you love missing because I've either never heard them or I just don't know them that well. Albums by The Police and a few other bands that I never really got totally into. So here we go. S is superior, and then A, B, C, and D. And these are in random order. So here we go. And once again, I'm not saying one album is better than the other. It's more favorites for me in this ranking. So Patti Smith, group, Wave. Not as strong as Easter. I'll put that in B. But I do love some of the songs on the album. Rust Never Sleeps, Neil Young and Crazy Horse is S tier. I love the acoustic side and, of course, the live side. All right, Tom Petty, Damn the Torpedoes. I bought that when it came out. I think Tom Petty is one of the greats, but just for me personally, I don't have anything by him in my collection because I would just rather listen to more challenging music, I guess, lately. But still, great songs and a great artist. I'm going to put him in A tier. I know a lot of you would put him in S tier for that album. Wire, their third album, 154, is S tier for me. But Neil Young's ahead of Wire. Talking Heads' Fear of Music goes to the front of S tier. My favorite Talking Heads album. Some of you might wonder, what is this album here? It is James Taylor, Flag. I had bought JT back in the 70s, and I loved it. And I bought the follow-up, Flag, which I think I even played more than JT. But for now, I'm going to put it at the front of B because I haven't heard it in many years. The Eagles, The Long Run, just for me, great songwriters and all that, but for me personally, they kind of bore me. The B-52s, their first album, that would be... I love Rock Lobster and, some of their other songs, but I was never a big fan. But that's still, a very good debut album. Madness, another debut album I bought. One Step Beyond. Even back then, I would put it at the end of B. Frank Zappa, Sleep Dirt. I'll put that in B. Just behind James Taylor's Flag. Bob Dylan. Slow Train Coming, my favorite Bob Dylan album, is S tier for me. Ooh, between Fear of Music and Slow Train Coming. Those are pretty close. I'm going to put Bob Dylan at the start of S. Pink Floyd, The Wall. I know a lot of you would put it in A or S tier. Just for me, it's good, but not one of my favorite Pink Floyd albums. I'll put it at the start of B. Randy Newman, Born Again, another excellent album by him. I'm going to put that in A tier, but behind Tom Petty. Cheap Trick, Dream Police. I bought that when it came out. I'll put that in B tier. I love some of the songs on the album, but not all of them. Right there. Supertramp, Breakfast in America, their biggest selling album, I believe. I much prefer, Crime of the Century. They were getting a bit more poppy, but still, I'll put it at the start of B. Devo, Duty Now for the Future. Pretty good follow-up to their debut. Not as strong, but still a great album. I'm going to put that in A tier at the very beginning of A tier. The Cars, Candy O. Pretty strong follow-up to their debut. I'll put that in A tier, at the end of A tier. The Monks, Bad Habits. If you're Canadian, you probably know this album pretty well if you're around my age. I'll put that in C tier, behind the Eagles. Yeah, The Residents, Eskimo. I listened to this album again today, and I don't know. I'm starting to lose my interest in the band. I love Backstab and a couple of their other albums, but I'm going to put that in C tier. Maybe I need to listen to it more. XTC, Drums and Wires. Along with Black Sea, my favorite XTC album, I'll put that at the start of A. Yeah. Sparks, Number One in Heaven, S tier. The very start of S tier. I love it. Before the album came out, I was hearing rumors, Sparks are going disco and all that. So I was ready to be really disappointed, but it's Sparks doing dance music and doing it really well. So I loved it right away. The Tubes, Remote Control. I'll put that in B tier. I love their earlier albums more. Right there. Oyster Cult, Mirrors. Disappointed when I first bought it. And now I think it's great. I'm going to put that in A tier. Right at the start of A tier. Ramones, It's Alive. What a killer live album. And I've got the box set with 4 CDs and vinyl. I'll put it just behind Rust Never Sleeps. Another Canadian band, Max Webster, very popular here in Canada. This album, A Million Vacations, I'll put in B tier. Right there. Fleetwood Mac, Tusk. I know some people thought it was a disappointing follow-up to Rumors, but I loved it. I'm going to put that in A tier. Just behind Devo. The Undertones, their debut album, is awesome. It's A tier. I'll Put it right between XTC and Devo. George Harrison, self-titled. Haven't heard it in a while. So kind of going by memory, I'll put it in B tier. I'll put it at the start of B tier. David Bowie, Lodger. I'll put that in A tier. I'll put it at the start of A tier. Yeah. ZZ Top, De Guelo. Good album. I'm going to put that in A tier. Just ahead of Tom Petty because, like I said, I just know that album much more than Tom Petty's album. Another Canadian band that just got into some bad luck in their career, sadly. But their debut album is great. I'll put that in B tier. Right there. Elvis Costello, Armed Forces. Another great album by Elvis. Put that. In between Devo and Fleetwood Mac. Frank Zappa. Boy, he's got Joe's Garage, the first album, and then Acts 2 and 3, and then Shake Your Booty. Joe's Garage is the first one. A S tier, sorry. And the second and third acts, it took me a while to appreciate them, but I think I love it even more than Act 1. So I'll put that there. And then Shake Your Booty. Or Chic Your Booty. I do get the meaning behind the title. Yeah, that's got to be S tier also. That was a great year for being a Zappa fan. Right there. The Clash, London Calling. I loved it right away, but it's one I seldom play because I would just rather listen to Sandinista or more of their, their more challenging songs. So for me, just personally, I'll put it in A tier. Right there. Jonathan Richman, Back in Your Life. I used to play that a lot, but I've never had him on CD. I'll put that in B tier, at the start of B tier. Lou Reed, The Bells. I love The Bells, especially side 1. Side 2 is a bit more challenging. So I'm going to put it at the start of the A tier. Wings, Back to the A. Hopefully this will be the year, 2025, coming up, that the archive edition is released. That is A tier. Just ahead of Blue Oyster Cult. AC/DC, Highway to Hell. A lot of their albums I would put in like B tier. Right there. And Led Zeppelin, In Through the Outdoor. Well, I'm going to have to put it in A tier because I like it more than The Cars and ZZ Top. Right about there. So no albums in D. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 albums in S tier. And that is it. I would love your thoughts. What albums am I missing out on that I've either never heard or I haven't heard enough to include them in this ranking? And yeah, let me know what you think of my ranking overall of the albums you know. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.